Moving to Oneness. Nourishing curiosity. Embracing differences. Becoming one.
The sun is shining through the window and caressing my face. Feels beautiful. This warmth provides a creativity, and the birds are singing outside their songs. The children are laughing all day already because they are finding the colorful Easter eggs, chocolate Easter bunnies, cooked colored eggs. And maybe here and there's a small present, but I think the most beautiful present are the grandparents and the parents that I can hear. They're so nourished by the joyfulness of the young ones, really symbolizing life and growth. And you can see that especially also in the greenery that is popping up everywhere. So welcome. I'm Meilin Ehlke, your host of the Moving to Oneness podcast. And let's dive in today into this beautiful energy of Easter. Easter is for many religions the most important time, right, to connect to their source. And Easter also, it's really fun, is for me sometimes very special, because on some Easters, depending where it is, if it's more in March, is my birthday on Friday, Passover. Or Good Friday, that's it, Good Friday. So Easter I have a special connection with. And we'll delve into that too. But first, what does this energy that everyone can sense, especially on the northern hemispheres, right? It's the one of revitalization, of opportunity, of growth, of ability finally to come out and show who one is, for humans as for plants. This joyfulness we were speaking about, of replenishing, of moving forward, of having young ones in your life to forward your own wisdom to, and to have a new generation to observe, to learn from, because so many bring so many new things, and it's independent if it's an animal, if it's flowers, trees, food, children, right? Because new information comes, new varieties, new viewpoints, in a way, new designs, adapted to the change of the cosmos, of the forward movement that exists, and at the same time of that expansion that exists. And because there is so much liveliness, and the children show it to us, they're running around and they're grouping and collecting each other independent of what ages, but they move in like a little droplets, or then coming together, creating little clans to have fun. And the faster the better. They run, they use their scooters, and they maybe scream of joy, or they sing, they hop. And where do you do that in your life now? Take a look. And maybe you're missing it. And if you do, just synchronize with them. And if you can't hear any children or songs where you are, of the birds where you are, delve into sensing them, imagining them, and connecting to them, to support you with that vitality that they're bringing and living. I want to get back to my birthday and Easter connection. I looked it up recently, so when I was born, it was not Easter, it was about 2 weeks after I was born. But 1 year especially, it's about 10 years ago now, where my birthday was on one of those Fridays before Easter Sunday. Good Friday, I think it's called again. I'm mixed up now. Karfreitag in German. Where I really sense this energy of a possibility of enlightenment. And on that weekend, there were beautiful movies. I was home alone, you're right, that I could watch that showed many dimensions of myself, of being a woman, being a mother, being a spiritual person, following your vision, speaking out your truth to the world. And a friend of mine called that week and said, Meilin, let's talk about your name. I thought, okay, and because it's a Chinese name, I've played with it a lot. It means a fruit, forest, much more. And there was the year when I lived in the US, I think a young gentleman from China approached me and told me, it's so funny, Meilin encumbrances beauty, and you're creating beauty here as a landscape architect in the US, which is the new country, if I remember that correctly. So if you're Chinese and you know more than I do, please connect with me, because I really would love to explore that more precisely. But I got the essence of creating beauty, of bringing beauty. That's part of me, my purpose, right? Absolute beauty is being able to see it in everything that exists, in everyone. Yeah, so my friend said, Meilin, it means M-E, like me. I am the line, L-I-N, Lin, right? Meilin, I am the connection line. And yes, I figured that out in my work, right? It's very easy for me to support people in connecting to their source, to support them in connecting even with more ease and more lightness, and especially also being on this planet light-footed and not feeling so heavy, but also feeling welcomed. That's so important, that we feel welcomed here because we chose to be here. And many of us light workers, it's very difficult to do that, especially if you have so many connections to the star nations. Yeah, and then to combine those energies, these connections to the above, to the below, which is so important, right? If we wouldn't have this energy flowing through our body that is sourced from top or sourced from bottom and moving through us, we would be flat like a pancake. It holds us straight, erect. It supports us. And combining this with our own essence, bringing our purpose to it, bringing our vision and creativity, and choosing what to create, and we catapult that out into the world, right? Shine that out into the world. It makes us move in all directions. So that's Meilin, and my last name Ehlke. Old name, I was able to go back to 1309, founded in regions of Poland, which was at that time, I think, German. And it's from my American dad, the name. So you see, they then went over and explored the American continent and stayed there. And that name carries within Ehlke or Ehlke, whatever you want to call it, the Elohim, the energies I sense that I carry. And it's becoming easier and easier for me to speak about it, but again also to connect to that energy and emanate it out into the world. And then key energy, right? Using key energy to physically do healings and also sensing it in others. So that's a little bit about Meilin. But the fun part was, after she told me that, and it was Easter, I had to think about my middle name, which I rarely use or speak about, and it's Esther. And I thought, oh my God, Esther is Easter, like from Estera, the goddess of spring. In German we say to Easter Ostern, so we call her Ostara. And she represents this growth, this fertility, this vibrant blood that flows through us, welcoming everything that grows, right? Even the looking for Easter eggs, it comes from enjoying the first eggs that could be found out in nature for people to give something maybe to eat. And then at the same time, showing us that we are growing and that there's a circle of life, and that in spring there's this reawakening and the change of color, the change of brightness of a daylight. But at the same time, and no, it's funny before I go on, and so I had to paint. I have a color made out of red flowers, watercolor. I love natural painting materials. So I had to draw automatic, in a way I channeled this red egg, also the femininity and the reconnectiveness of what makes us live. And so also that it is healthy. Yeah. And of reproduction, all these things are in there too. And then I had to go and look something up. And if I looked up under the Persian name, Estera or Stara, it is something that is connected to the stars. Light, stars, a brightness, glowing, brilliance, and radiating out the light that we are, that you are, that I am, right? Really going into that. And I thought, oh my God. So really it was so fun to see that in each of my names, there are two parters, but somehow they belong together. It's encompassing everything. I'm just thinking about it now because at that time I didn't have my podcast yet. Oneness. But that describes oneness. No wonder that I'm this way I am. And I have this podcast. So what does it do to you if you hear that? What does it bring up for you? So where is your oneness in your name? Have you delved into it? Sometimes I'm able to see in other people's name what they are and who they are. I come with a little bit of a different perspective and eye for words or partial words or even letters, right? So take a look at your name. If not, reach out to me. I support you with it. And are we living our name? Are you living your name? Am I living my name? I had once a client too. I helped her to express to the world what her name was and what her gifts were. And she had lived it, but she had not brought them back all together and had neglected a few of the places where she had lived before. But it was fascinating what parts she was already living. So take time and look at your full name. I know there's some of you that have 9 names. Some maybe only have 2 and some even 1. And some of you have names that were given to you later, maybe by the spiritual direction you followed. Native American, or you connected with the stars, or you had a spirit being giving you a name, right? Or you remembered your source name. So that is really fun to play with. So again, we're in this playfulness. let's get that back into our life. Are you living it? Is it back in your life? Ooh, and then now the sun just came out again behind the cloud, really bright. So sit down with the sun and connect to her and find out by going into communication with her what you want to create together. So it's important that you see that we're not alone, that there is support from all directions, and that it is okay that to even look in a renewed way at your life, at what you do. Is it still what you're here to do? Are you still moving to be your optimal best, or to really live while you're here? I think these energies we're sensing at the moment are really focusing or bringing these thought system, this memory back into ourselves, like lightening them up, giving them the spark. Giving them the spark. I hope you can feel the little sparks in all of your cells, maybe your face, especially your cheeks. Remembering your vitality, your vibrancy, your sparkle. And to remember which buds to pop open of leaves, of flowers, blossoms, right? Which direction to grow. You can see it in roses often. They change the direction, depends what the weather was, in the growth spurt, especially in spring. Maybe there came some cool weather again, just the recent days we had it below zero, or even tonight. So some leaves crumbled. But if you look then again in a few days, somewhere else, a bud is coming out and the rose is going to grow into a different direction. So stay open to, if one way doesn't lead you where you desire to go, take the other, readjust, fine tune. All about fine tuning and at the moment. And maybe you feel a little bit overwhelmed, then sleep a little bit more, observe a little bit more precise what nourishment you take to yourself. Maybe eat the things that don't make you so tired. See how your body responds it. Maybe eat less. A little bit more movement, or look at the stars at night, to become fed by the energy of them or the sun. Whatever it is for you, everyone is a little different. What can you do in the next few days and weeks or even hours that brings you joy, relaxation, where you can exhale deeply to take in the new breath or a deeper breath of this fresh crystal air that wants to move you forward. So many things. I mean, this is a topic we can go on and on, but there's one little thing I would love to share too. So in the region where I live, they create, they have little fountains in the village centers. Every little village or city has its main fountain where they once got water and still can get water from. And the women come together to do long strains of eggs, they're without interior. So just they blew out the interior and then painted the exterior. And sometimes now they're even out of plastic, so they hold up through rain, frost, sunshine. They spent hours to beautify these fountains with different colors and designs of eggs, and each city or village has a different way of doing it. Osterbrunnen, so fountain is a well, that's the word I was thinking. Fountain is not the right word, it's the well. But if they don't have a well, they use the fountain, or often the older wells have been changed into fountains. And here in this region, often over winter, so they don't freeze the fountains and wells, they cover them up by wood structures. So again, there it was some unfolding that took place. So can it be decorated, celebrated, and made colorful? So the same I ask you and invite you to, what can you take away where you have put covering on or isolated something or kept safe? Where can you start to uncover, to take away? Where do you now feel more safe than before and can show it to others in your life? If it's family or business or friends or the huge world, the many of you are healers and messengers, right? You travel a lot, your voice travels to many around the globe. So take some time while you're relaxing and turning within to see what of you can bring out even more and make it more colorful and brighter so others can see it from afar and celebrate it with others. So these women, there's not one woman doing it all alone. They come together, they create community. It's more fun, you laugh. Already the time when they sat together, maybe sometimes you're alone at home and painted the egg, but then sometimes you came together in a group or smaller groups. And then when you put them all together on those fountains, on those wells, then you really celebrate the energy, the dedication, and the intention of each single woman, person, independent of age, and welcoming in always the new and cherishing the old. So everyone, thank you for being here. Enjoy your day, enjoy the sun, enjoy the moon. They have so many messages for you at the moment. I would love, if you have time, to share your wisdom with me. Write me an email or come to the Facebook group Moving to Oneness, where you can share with us what you're experiencing at the moment. And this is a community of one. Of the one mind, of the one light, of the one sound, the one intent, and it goes on. So thank you for being here. I'm Meilin Ehlke, your host of the Moving to Oneness podcast. I wish you the best. Happy Easter. Bye bye.